So now I'll take you through how MYOB Advance plans and presents production orders within the new production schedule board, and how an integrated scheduling tool can deliver a single point of entry for planners to help them make quicker, data-driven decisions regarding their production plans. So let's first do some navigation just to highlight some of the main features. Under the screen name here, there's a few action buttons. So you can see schedule, firm, and undo firm. And I'll take you through these shortly when I take you through a quick example of scheduling and firming orders. Underneath these, there's an area where you can filter by multiple criteria. And these filters allow you to filter down to show only relevant records you wish to view within the scheduler. And you do this simply by invoking those filters. And a good example to call out here is that if I was responding to a query from a sales rep on the status of a production order for a particular customer, I can simply filter by that customer here to display only the specific production orders for that particular customer. And I can even do this by sales order number if I have that. So, and I can then isolate the production order that is actually linked to. And another use case here is that if I wanted to quickly locate all future production orders that exist to build a specific subassembly, and I can do this simply by entering the item item code within the inventory ID and to view those specific orders. And also, there's a date range filter at the top here, which will help you narrow the results to display only the production orders where the start date falls within the date range specified within the filter. So you can really focus on orders that fall within your chosen planning horizon. And lastly, there's some neat color coding features here to differentiate your order types, differentiate orders by work center, by production order status. You can view high priority orders for customers and isolate those, and also by firm schedule. So after setting these preferences and filters, you can then also collapse the filter screen to provide a bit more working space. So if we progress down the screen now, and underneath the filters area, you can see all production orders listed within a Gantt chart layout, with each operation mapped over a timescale of its choosing. So a bar there, as you can see, represents an operation of within the production order, and that represents the duration of that operation from the start date and time to the end date and time. The operation number is visible too, and the status of the production order as well. So, and the color here, as you can see, represents the option specified in the color coding box of the selection area. And if the production order status is selected, for example, each color corresponds to a particular order status. So really intuitive and highly visual to be able to, so that you can differentiate those orders that you're viewing. And also, in cases where you've got situations where you've got make to order scenario where you've got sales orders linked to production orders, there's a neat little diamond shape that's displayed here, which indicates that the production order is linked to that sales order. So the system here compares the requested on date of the sales order to the end date of the production order. And in this case, it'll display as green if the production meets that commitment. It'll display as yellow if the dates are the same, which makes, delivery time frames pretty tight. And it will display as red if the requested date is earlier than the end date of the production order, which means effectively that we can't meet that customer commitment. So this particular tool will ensure that you have forward visibility of whether or not you expect to meet those delivery dates for your customers. So if you hover over now a particular operation within the screen, it'll provide a summary view of the order details, which is a really handy feature when navigating between multiple orders and their operations within the screen. You can adjust the time scale to zoom in and out and look at a particular month of production operations, or you can actually get down to an hour view to gain a more granular view, which is really perfect for planners when needing to get a view of a particular day or production plan within certain hours of the day. And lastly, you can see the bar charts or histogram view below that details capacity and utilization by work center and machine. The charts for work centers and machines consist of bars here. The height of each bar represents the workload of the work center or machine resource for a particular timescale unit. So you can Point to the bar to view details about the work center and machine workload and a list of production orders that contribute to that workload. So in this case, within the screen here, utilization is represented by those green blocks versus capacity, which is shown as a red line. So for planners, you can instantly see where bottlenecks are and address those capacity issues instantly. It's also highly configurable too, so I can click the spanner or wrench in the US, click that little icon here to call up a full menu of column-specific options and add or remove columns from the selection as my needs or preferences change. Or I can even right-click on a column here and show a full list of column options to choose from. So as a production scheduler who needs to plan and schedule weekly production operations within this screen, I can see all my production orders graphically. So this allows users to perhaps plan in 2-week increments or perhaps manage longer term planning depending on their planning horizons. Reviewing and generating the schedule is really straightforward within this screen, and this really helps planners adjust their schedule where an existing order can be reprioritized quickly. And I'll show you how easily this is achieved. So let's first invoke the firm schedule filter so that we see color differentiation between orders that are firm planned versus orders that are just planned or released. For planned orders, I can click on both the constraint date and the dispatch priority and make any changes to these values, both of which are considered when scheduling is run. And also, as you'd expect, any changes here are reflected immediately within the backend database. So you can immediately drill via the production order hyperlink and view how these changes have taken effect within the production order itself. So to reschedule a production order, I simply change the constraint date of that order, check the selected box, then choose the Schedule Action button. So with this tool as well, replenishment decisions can be made to ensure adequate component levels too. So if there were not enough materials to produce the finished good on that production order at any operation, a lightning bolt visual indicator will be displayed within that specific operation. And also, if there's an outside process denoted with any operation of a production order, a white circle indicator or icon will also be displayed. So there's lots of visual cues. Now, in situations whereby we don't want other scheduling processes to interrupt or move an individual production order, we can firm schedule a production order simply by, again, selecting the order within the checkbox, then selecting firm. This effectively locks in that order, locking its place into the schedule so that other orders will schedule around it. And this really allows you to accommodate order escalations or high priority customer orders where promise dates are firm and they are aligned with what Capable to Promise has calculated. Notice the color of the operation bar has now changed as it's now firmed within the schedule. And of course, there's an undo firm button for obvious reasons.